Welcome back. You're watching Lunch Money at a time when economies across the world are struggling as business slows down and debts mount. There has been a gradual but increasing focus towards a whole new way of looking at business. Social business has become the new buzzword in the corporate world here in India, and big businessmen like Azim Premji and Shiv Nadar have started foundations to drive it. In fact, one of the biggest players in the space of what is called impact investing is the fund raised by Omidyar, the founder of eBay. Earlier, I caught up with Jayant Sinha, MD and partner at Omidyar Network India Advisors, and asked him what impact investing is all about and what lies ahead.
Well, I think what's wonderful about India is that India is at a very sort of advanced stage of impact investing. If you look around the world, certainly the US is the leader in impact investing, and by some counts, there's billions of dollars of impact investing happening in the US, particularly in clean tech and green energy and so on. And certainly if you look at equity-based impact investing, the US is clearly in the lead. However, when you look at India, you find that after the US, it really is India that is seeing the most amount of impact investing. For instance, I was in the UK this summer and I met with a number of leaders of the impact investing industry in the UK. They were telling me that in the UK they only have $30 million a year of equity-based impact investing. In India, we are well north of that number, probably somewhere between $50 to $75 million a year of equity-based impact investing happening in India.
The Planning Commission report that you're working on, a presentation, what needs to be done to, facilitate the growth of this space, to actually encourage more and more people to avail of what can be?
That's right. So a very important aspect of our report was to emphasize that the entrepreneurial ecosystem has a range of actors. Government is a very important actor, one of the main actors, but large businesses, academic institutions, entrepreneurs themselves, all of these actors are extraordinarily important in the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So everybody has a very important role to play, and these roles have to be coordinated. Everybody's efforts have to work together to really ensure that India's entrepreneurial ecosystem genuinely flourishes. What we have in India right now, particularly for angel and early stage venture capital investors, is a tax regime that is actually biased against them as opposed to biased in favor of them, even though you have tremendous positive spillover effects when you're operating as an angel investor and as an early stage venture capital firm. Now, SEBI, through its alternative investment fund regulations, has come up with a category called Category 1 investors, which are ones that are having positive spillover effects, and there are certain benefits from that. But those benefits right now are not available to angels and angel groups, for one thing. So one of the things we really have to do is to make sure that when people register as an angel or as an angel group, many of the benefits that SEBI has for Category 1 AIFs, alternative investment funds, become available for angels also.
Sure.
Then there is a rule that has just come in which is actually been put on hold but could be very, very difficult to deal with, which is this whole notion of paying tax by the company if the value of the company.
The idea
yes.
Of
so if you're raising money as an entrepreneur and you've built a lot of sweat equity and you've really created value in the company, now suddenly you have to pay taxes on it, right? So that's not helping in the growth of these companies. So that is something that should be thought about, and I'm very pleased to say that when we had the discussion with the Deputy Chairman and the Finance Minister and so on, there was a very thoughtful and very sort of granular and specific discussion on tax policy and the tax regime, and there's going to be a technical working group that gets together to actually work through the tax code to make sure that these unintended.
So this could be re-looked at? I mean,
yes,
is that the message that you got from the planning?
Yes, absolutely.
That was Jayant Sinha from Omidyar talking about the tax regime for people investing in social businesses. Well, that's a wrap on the show. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll pick up the action on the other side. Goodbye.